Wildfires have scorched thousands of acres in Spain and France, prompting the closure of an international airport after a days-long heatwave parched landscapes in the region and turned woodlands into tinderboxes.
스페인과 프랑스에 발생한 산불로 산림 수천 에이커가 소실되고 국제공항이 폐쇄됐습니다. 이는 수일 동안 이어진 폭염으로 해당 지역의 지형이 건조해져 숲의 나무들이 불쏘시개 역할을 한 것으로 한 결과로 보입니다. Alright, so it's really hot in Europe as well. Tell us more.
Yeah, it's not just Asia. It's Europe. At least five firefighters were injured in southern France, where a blaze near the city of Narbonne was burning for a second day, according to local authorities.
Right.
Some fires going on in Spain and the Catalonia region as well. And 7,000 acres of vegetation have burned in that region. So these fires have been getting around and doing quite a bit of damage.
Absolutely. We're looking at a days-long heat wave. So as opposed to a day-long heat wave, the S there is not a mistake.
Absolutely. And
it means...
several days or a number of days. I think you could equate it to anywhere between, say, 2 to maybe 5 or 6. It's not an exact number, but we're talking about something that's more than one and probably less than a week, right? Because then you would just say a week long.
Sure.
So I think you probably could go up to maybe 6 days even, something between 2 and 6 days. It would be like days
수일
long.
동안 이어진 것을 a days-long heat wave. If it had been going on for weeks, then a weeks-long heat wave. And you can use all the other time periods as well to talk about different things. You know, a years-long pandemic, for example. That's what COVID was.
Absolutely.
All right. And it has parched areas in Europe.
Yeah, something that's been parched is very dry, and it could be because of the heat, typically, but it can be other things. Often I hear about like your skin might be parched, so you need some lotion.
Right.
So we hear about that in maybe certain advertisements or talking about skincare, but often it's also to do with land and maybe trees and woods and things that might be dry because of the weather.
Could you say that crops are parched from the sun and no rain?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think about maybe like a sun deck. If you have like a deck where you barbecue and the paint kind of gets like old and kind of like wrinkled and stuff. Like when your deck needs to get redone or repainted, or parts of your house might need to be repainted because it's been parched by the sun.
So it's extremely dry.
Yes.
Yeah. And your throat as well can get parched.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
그래요. 이제 정말 메마른 상태가 되는 겁니다. To be parched. 그런데 지금 우리가 수동태로 얘기를 했지만 여기서는 능동태로 the heat wave has parched landscapes in Spain and in France. So it's made it very dry. In fact, it says it's turned woodlands into tinderboxes.
Yeah, tinderboxes, there's two different ways to talk about this. The first, let's get into the literal term of what is a tinderbox.
Right.
And a tinderbox is like a fire starting set that you would have. So it would usually have like small wood chips of sorts with maybe like a flint and a piece of metal to quickly start a fire. So this is what was used. Nowadays you just have a lighter and you're off to the races. But if we're going back maybe 100, 200 years ago, if you wanted to make a fire, that would be the easiest way back then. So that's the literal meaning. If we're talking about it figuratively, you're thinking about something where, it starts a fire from nothing. So think about things like a situation where it can get really hot or it can get hot in a figurative way as well, in terms of maybe a situation that you don't like. This is like a fire starter that it's beginning something. It's a tinderbox. This is beginning a hot situation, or this is, in this sense, it's literally talking about an area, it's making an area hot.
그러니까 예전에 뭐 라이터나 이런 게 없던 시절에는요, tinderbox라고 해서 tinder, T-I-N-D-E-R, 불에 붙기 좋은 마른 그런 재료들이 들어있는 박스가 있었대요. 그래서 그거를 뭐 어떻게 활용을 해가지고 불을 지폈나 보죠. 요즘에는 틴더벅스 안 쓰죠, 아무도.
No, everyone's got a lighter.
틴더벅스 파는 것도 본 적이 없고 저도
Yeah.
그냥 인터넷으로 이런 게 있었구나. 저는 그 정도로 이제 알고 있는데 불쏘시개라고 지금 얘기를 했죠. 그런 것이 들어있는 통입니다. 그래서 비유적인 표현인데 지금 스페인과 프랑스에서 너무나 덥고 그다음에 메마른 그런 기후가 이어지다 보니까 숲 같은 경우 나무들이 많은 곳에는 마치 그게 하나의 tinderbox가 된 것처럼 조금만 이제 불이 붙으면 확 다 타는 그런 안타까운 상황이 이어지고 있는 거네요. Very interesting. I think a lot of people these days will think of an app when they hear the word Tinder, but that's not the original meaning of the word.
No, yeah.
It's something dry that can burn easily. Okay, I wonder why they call them that, but anyway, I don't know. Here's the headline again. Wildfires have scorched thousands of acres in Spain and France, prompting the closure of an international airport after a days-long heat wave parched landscapes in the region and turned woodlands into tinderboxes.